But this completely overrides the Constitution. Effectively, it puts you in charge.
These are troubled times, sir. The Constitution could not anticipate them. The national monument is being destroyed. Our democracy is under attack. If we're to wage war on these foreign infiltrators, certain civil rights must be suspended.
When power is seized instead of bestowed, the hand that seizes it is often burned.
In the early days of the Third Reich, there were people who spoke out against the concentration of power and against the staged attacks against the government that were actually orchestrated by the government to give it an excuse to seize liberty, to seize power, and to create a police state. Self-organizing resistance, college students, speaking out, writing, distributing flyers. Some of them called themselves the White Rose. And the story is told in the movie Sophie Scholl. We've seen the same things happening in modern America, first under George Bush, and now multiplying even more rapidly under Obama. Assassination of American citizens abroad without trial or due process. Today, 90% of what you see and hear is controlled by 6 media companies, who are nothing but cheerleaders for oppressive, authoritarian government, cheerleaders for constant war and the surveillance police state. Many Americans are not willing to go quietly into a dark Orwellian future. The Attorney General ordered to scare the public into accepting government confiscation of private firearms, criminally and secretly smuggling weapons to Mexico with Fast and Furious, and Obama covering it up, calling it executive privilege.
This is breaking as we speak. Obama refuses to turn over Fast and Furious documents. Ladies and gentlemen, I've got to go back to our newscast from earlier this year and one we did last year, where we dug up the press conferences, because the mainstream media will not pick this up. We've put it out. We've got to do a new article. I got to get Kurt Nimmo or Paul Watson or somebody to do it, showing Holder and all of them, Big Sis, Napolitano, at meetings saying they were running gun tracing programs by the very names, not just saying they were shipping them into Mexico.
The president has directed us to take action to fight these cartels, and Attorney General Holder and I are taking several new and aggressive steps as part of the administration's comprehensive plan. DOJ's Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives is increasing its efforts by adding 37 new employees in 3 new offices, using $10 million in Recovery Act funds, and redeploying 100 personnel to the southwest border in the next 45 days to fortify its Project Gunrunner.
These wiretap applications, which we did not subpoena, but which were given to us by a furious group of whistleblowers that are tired of your stonewalling, indicate that a number of key individuals in your administration, in fact, were responsible for information contained in here that clearly shows that the tactics of Fast and Furious were known. They were known and are contained in these wiretaps.
Entering wars and open contempt of federal law and the Constitution.
Well, I'm almost breathless about that, because what I heard you say is we're going to seek international approval, and they will come and tell the Congress what we might do, and we might seek congressional approval.
No, we would want to be able to get appropriate permissions in order to be able to do that.
What legal basis are you looking for? What entity?
If NATO made the decision to go in, that would be one. If we developed an international coalition beyond NATO, then obviously some kind of UN security resolution.
Openly stating contempt for congressional war powers and the Constitution.
The notion that I can just suspend deportations through executive order, that's just not the case. There are laws on the books that Congress has passed, and I know that everybody here at Bell is studying hard, so you know that we've got 3 branches of government. Congress passes the law. The executive branch's job is to enforce and implement those laws.
After telling supporters that he was constrained by the law from his goals on immigration, he later violated immigration law by executive fiat.
Effective immediately, the Department of Homeland Security is taking steps to lift the shadow of deportation from these young people.
Authorizing indefinite detention without trial by merely being accused by the administration of being a terrorist.
And when they say, I want my lawyer, you tell them, shut up.
Your time has
Get a
expired.
lawyer.
What is going on in America? On one hand, we have soldiers dying in Afghanistan fighting Al-Qaeda. On the other hand, we just helped a group of people take over Libya, and the Al-Qaeda flag is flying over their capital city headquarters. It's time for America to get its story and its priorities straight about what we stand for as a nation.